Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moletrap here, coming at you with another StarCraft 2 commentary. And this is actually going to be a series of games between LiquidRet and oGsZenio. It just says OGS here, but this is Zenio. This is, I believe, I just found the reps just labeled as BNet games, which is kind of default on replay site. Excuse me. But I believe these are from the Kaspersky Invitational that was just played recently. I'm not sure exactly who it was associated with, to be honest. But anyway, there are some casts that have already been done of these games, so if you prefer to watch the originals, they were casted already by who was it? Hold on a second. Oh, by Good Game, the RU in Russian, and Rage Quit TV. So anyway, you can watch those if you want. I'm going to be casting some ZVZ here. Close positions Z. Well, actually not close positions. These would be close positions ZVZ as far as the land route goes. But close air positions. So they're both going to scout each other immediately, which will make things a little bit interesting. It's kind of a, a game of chicken in this sort of a situation. When both players can see what the other is doing, then they know when the other one pools. And you always want to pool a little bit later, so you get a couple extra drones in. And so Red is actually going to go for the expansion because he can scout here and see that oGsZenio is not going for a pool first. Both players are actually going for that expansion, so pretty much what you could expect from this. Because if either player pooled, got their spawning pool, the other player could just get a hatch and then a pool, or they could get a... and both players going for gas first as well. I'm curious to see what that's all about. I'm not too familiar with Pro ZVZ. We haven't seen a lot of ZVZs. I haven't watched a lot of high-level ZVZs. So the gas first and then the pool. I mean, it makes sense because then you can get gas units out pretty quickly. You can get your speed immediately when your pool finishes if you do that. So that might be why that's going on there, actually. Anyway, so yeah, basically, yeah, you kind of have to... Both players going for the exact same build. But if the other player, and that makes sense. I was talking about how, if the other player pools, you can get a couple more drones and then get your pool, kind of like in StarCraft 1, and you can get a little bit of an economic advantage that way. But in this case, it actually does make sense to do it this way. If you get your pool at a certain time, then you can wait for the Overlord to pop out, and look at that, Overlord pops out just a little bit before the pool does, and then you've got enough in the bank to make queens as well, and that's exactly why you do it that way. So anyway, let's get the production tab up so we can see exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, metabolic boost being upgraded for both players. Interesting. We got a couple lings. Okay, just a few both players getting out a few zerglings. Nothing too big of a deal here. Anyway, so both players, like I said, can see what the other was doing, so they could kind of counter it directly. But now, with the queens on the way, both players are going to have to run their overlords out of the way so that they can, so they don't get killed off by this queens when they come out. And anyway, Rhett's going to do some prodding with a couple zerglings. He does have, actually no, he's just going to depend on that queen to deal with this scouting zergling, kill it off. He's going to put a little bit of pressure on with his zerglings here. Zenio has 2 queens on the ramp, which is interesting. I'm not sure why he decided he needed to get both queens on the ramp there to fight. I guess because he had less zerglings, so he's making sure to get down there. But also, again, he doesn't know what's coming. He doesn't know if there's roaches coming or anything like that. He might need queens to fight with. Anyway, so those couple queens running around. I think he's probably going to get one of his queens back up here. Baneling Nest actually out for Zenio. So this is the thing, is we saw both players chase the overlords out of their base, go for the exact same build, and now with the overlords out of their base, they're able to pick a tech pattern. Both players with zergling speed now, and I like this. Rhett with superior zerglings is going to be able to run around and really punish him. And lots of zerglings coming out for Zenio, actually. The Roach Warren is up for Rhett. He needs to produce a bunch of roaches right now. 5 roaches on the way. He's probably going to need even more, actually, with this amount of speed zerglings. And the roaches are not out yet. So where are the roaches? The zerglings are coming in here. They might be able to snipe this queen if he's not lucky. Where does he... Oh, the zergling's coming back to distract him. Zerglings running around there chasing the zerglings, and that gives him enough time for the roaches to come out. And oh, what is he doing? Morphing banelings in the middle of that? Not a good idea. Some zerglings coming in there, though. Where are those banelings that he produced? They're just on the ramp, I guess, in case of a Zergling run by. They will own a Zergling run by. But now with his own Zerglings popping out, I think he saw that he was in a little bit of trouble and produced some Zerglings as well. With his own Zerglings out to support, Red is going to be in a good shape right here. And here he comes with these Zerglings. Now, if Zenio can produce a few Banelings, if he can land the Banelings on Rhett's Speedlings, then he will be able to hold out in this situation. But Rhett, in this case, with just a little bit bigger army, wow, actually a significant bigger army, bigger income as well, he was able to get some drones up, and Zenio spending so much on Zerglings, doesn't have full drone saturation here. Coming in with Roaches now as well, and here come the Banelings. If he can land those Banelings, the Zerglings are running away from the Banelings, and the Roaches, in the meantime, taking out, oh, he should have detonated that one Baneling, even though they don't do as much damage against the Roaches. Still doing significant damage, and wow, lots of Banelings doing their job, and lots of Speed Zerglings getting a surround on those Roaches. Just so many Lings are getting surrounded the Roaches. Oh! Lands it on the Roaches. Two Banelings taking out that one Roach, and now it's just Zergling on Zergling. Looks like Zenio has a few more Zerglings. Red has a couple more reinforcements coming in. He's able to take that battle. More Zerglings coming out for Zenio, and that was not the best time. Well, I mean, you need to morph your Banelings beforehand just in case. But he kind of needed those couple Zerglings actually in that battle. Rhett deciding to take off though, didn't know how close those other Banelings were to morph again. And Rhett now with masses of Roaches and Zerglings in here, I think he might be better off to produce more Roaches. The Roaches are going to do very well against both Zerglings and Banelings. I mean, you saw how that one Roach took 2 or 3 Baneling hits. Took 2 Baneling hits while being attacked by Zerglings. Roaches are now out for Zenio as well, so he's actually going to have a little bit better army composition at this point because he's going to have the 3 types of units instead of just the 2. And he's actually pulled ahead in economy at this point. I'm not sure. Looks like Rhett, not too many drones. He must have gotten a round of drones in the middle of that. It must have been what happened when I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, Roaches being produced, lots of Roaches being produced for Zenio. Actually, he could come back and really own Red at this point. He's got a lot of Zerglings, some Roaches as well. Banelings in the mix are going to change things as well, going to make it so that Red can't really use his Zerglings to full effect, because if he does engage with those Zerglings, they're just getting owned by Baneling. Here come the Banelings. Lands. No, it doesn't land. The Baneling actually gets killed, so the Baneling's not in full effect, and he's going to have to run back here. More Zerglings coming in for Red. He's going to have to push in. It's Roachling versus Roachling, and morphing Banelings in the middle here. This could be brutal if that Baneling morphs in the middle of battle and takes out some Zerglings. Just Roach on Roach at this point, though, but a couple Banelings in crucial spots could turn the tide, and the Banelings actually running away from those Roaches. I guess he's just going to keep those in reserve just in case some Zerglings come in for Rhett. Rhett with a little bit more damage on his Roaches is going to turn around, going to try and fight with his queen. He needs to do some transfusions here. Transfuse at least one of these Roaches. More Roaches coming out. Xena with just a few more Roaches. The Banelings coming in the mix as well. Rhett may lose the game here, and Rhett loses Game 1 against oGsZenio. A very, very hard-fought ZVZ. Wow, and that was just Zenio doing everything right, coming out with just using his Banelings to really good effect. Well, not to really good effect, but to enough effect that he was able to take an advantage with them. Basically, I mean, if things had been a little bit different, if the Banelings had been wasted, or if he'd made more Banelings and wasted them, I think that was actually pretty good that he did that, actually. He produced the Banelings in moderation and was able to keep enough Zerglings out. And I'm really surprised that the Zerglings did so well against those Roaches. He just didn't have critical match of Roaches when Rhett attacked. So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's move on to Game 2.